There's such a good look with the bum.
And this is the point here where we're going to get the damage to the
Doodles of what needs to be looked at, including this little one here.
Expand 10 to 12 folds, even 15 folds more when it's full of blood.
This is not going to be a sexy vlog, but it is going to be life-changing for me, and I'm hoping it might be life-changing for some of you guys. So the last couple of years, I have really suffered with a couple of issues with my right leg. Mainly the fact that I have varicose veins, which I know don't look that appealing, but actually now they've got to the point where they're itchy, they're heavy, and they're scarring. And when I exercise or go up my stairs, they feel incredibly heavy. I also suffer with restless leg, which feels like I want to run a marathon when I'm just trying to simply lay or chill out. And if I run my hand up my right thigh, it feels like I have the biggest vein, like I could literally grab it. It feels massive. It doesn't feel right. So both of my parents have had their varicose veins removed, but it hasn't worked. I put out a tweet on Twitter and was like, guys, what do I do? Because it's really uncomfortable and I know that it will affect my health. I've seen what happens when you leave them and I don't want this to happen. And I also am aware that since having Jacks, they're 10 times worse, which is also very common. A load of people tweeted me back and said to check out the Whiteley Clinic in London. I did. I'm booked in and he's doing 3 procedures on me because it turns out I'm the perfect specimen to share this with you guys. So I feel so lucky he is very kindly gifting me these operations so that I can share with you guys and hopefully raise awareness of what isn't a sexy procedure. It's not making your face look beautiful. It's not liposuction. This is getting rid of ugly veins and making them more healthy. But I feel like so many of us are struggling with this and I want to kind of share because also I have found that I have mine in my vagina and that is why everything is not really working so great when it comes to my period. I'm going to show you my scans super fast and they might not make very much sense to you, but when I went and saw him a couple of months ago, and I didn't film that because it was an initial assessment and I didn't know if I was going to go with him, they did a full internal examination and ultrasound all of my pelvic area and then my right and left leg. Bearing in mind it was my right leg that the only thing that I thought had the issue, this will kind of show you what's been going on. So this is my right leg. And to put it super simply, these are the veins that are going in the right direction. These are the veins where the blood is going in the wrong direction. This one is huge, and that's the one that I can feel. It is way too big compared to the size that it's meant to be. And so I need to work on changing this, all these little ones here, and getting them to be healthy like this one. Then you have my left leg, which I thought was totally fine, but it's starting to do the exact same thing. So we're gonna work on this one too. Finally, you have my pelvic region. And this shows you what's happening. So these ones again are going the right way. All of this is going the wrong way, which is partially why now when I have my periods, my vagina feels so heavy, like it's dragging on the ground. And so we're gonna get all of this fixed and I'm going in for this section today. So he's gonna work 2 separate operations on 2 separate dates. We're gonna work on this because then that will hopefully help the legs. There's no point in fixing the legs when this is still wrong. So we're gonna do this first. Leon's gonna film it and let you know how it goes. And then we're gonna do the legs in a month or so. So let's go!
Okay, this is the theatre entrance.
Sweet. So she's going to be there.
Magic is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah?
Sweet.
X-ray machine, sterile table, please do not touch it. These are the coils we possibly are going to use.
Yeah. And what do they do?
So they essentially, we use these to embolize the vein.
Right, okay.
And where an inflammation process will start and the vein essentially is going to close.
Wow.
There's such a good look with the bum.
It's wonderful. Sorry, I just need to do that.
I am very comfortable. I've got an off the shoulder number now.
You need to put your nipple away. This is where I say goodbye.
Bye, babe.
Well, they're all the same animal.
Don't miss me. You're going to prep.
Last image.
Really delicious.
Last
Oh,
image.
can I have a cheese and pickle sandwich?
That's what I'm going to have right now. Think of me. Yeah, I'll get you one.
Okay,
Anything else?
Hour and a half. Hour and a half.
That's going to be a long sandwich.
For the theory today is obviously we're going to block these veins. You've had this explained to you before, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have.
But what we're going to be doing effectively is we're going to be putting a mixture of a liquid, what we call sclerotherapy, and also some coils into these veins. And the purpose of that is essentially one, to stop the reflux. So you're going to stop the actual blood going down the wrong way into those veins. So you're stopping the blood refluxing down from the pelvis and onto the legs.
Okay.
And clearly where you can't get into some of the very distal veins with the coils, because obviously the veins are quite tortuous, you can inject some of the liquid and that might travel down as well and block some of those as well. So it's that combination.
Fast forward almost 9 months, a load of crazy things happening in the world and a new hair colour for me, and I'm finally going in for my leg surgery. Unfortunately, COVID did put a halt to me going in after I had the pelvic surgery, which you guys saw in a previous video. Now that was an incredible one to watch. Absolutely amazing seeing them put these little coils in everywhere, and honestly afterwards my body felt amazing. My periods were less heavy, I didn't feel like I had that dragging sensation, and I didn't notice any new varicose veins. However, in the 9 months since then, I have noticed my restless leg syndrome has increased. They're more itchy and they're definitely getting as much swelling. So I was really eager to get my leg sorted, and now we're going in for the surgery. Now I am the first person in the world, that's never happened to me, to have both surgeries, a different surgery on each leg and in the same day. So I'm being used as a case study. So you might hear about this more often. Professor Mark Whiteley wanted to use me as I am young and I'm in fit and I'm in good shape. So it's a really good case study for the whole world to see what works best when it comes to varicose veins. So let's dive into the surgery.
Hi Carly. So today you're here for SONOVEIN and endovenous surgery, or SONOVEIN of your left leg. You're going to be the first person in the world who's going to have SONOVEIN on one leg and then endovenous surgery, which is like surgery on the other leg, so you'll be able to compare the two.
Amazing, I'm so excited. Thank you.
Looking for the veins that we're going to treat. These are the veins that most doctors don't treat, and it's one of the reasons why patients get their veins back again is because doctors don't treat them. They're called perforating veins. So we're just going to mark the perforating vein that we're going to close with SONOVEIN.
Okay, so what are we doing?
So we've got 3 veins we're going to treat on this side. Well, the one vein that everybody treats, that's the great sphinx vein, or what they used to call the long sphinx vein. And that used to be the only vein people treated, really. You've also got 2 things called incompetent perforators.
Okay.
If we don't treat those, your veins are more likely to come back. And that's one of the reasons you hear people always saying veins always come back.
Like my parents, they both had those.
Yeah, exactly. And in your case, you see, most doctors would just say you've got leg varicose veins. They would treat that main vein, but nothing else. Whereas you've had pelvic veins treated, because that was the main cause.
Yeah.
Now perforators and great sphinx vein, and that will give you the lowest chance of getting veins back in the future.
Amazing.
So that's why we do it this way.
Excited.
So first is your perforator veins.
Okay. Mark, will this hurt?
No, this shouldn't hurt at all. We're going to, you might feel the very, very first bit, but I'll be asking you the whole time. But unlike normal surgery, there's virtually nothing at all that can hurt to this. So this is these lines, the guidelines, that's where the cone of power comes down, and this is the point here where we're going to get the damage to the vein at that point. We can, if we want to, we can actually target it by just drawing the bit of vein we want to here. And then when we fire, the ultrasound's going to come down there and it goes fuzzy, and that's the ultrasound going into the skin, and that's why it's just been destroyed, that little bit there.
Officially time for leg 2, and the one that I noticed and actually made the inquiry about. So this is all the doodles of what needs to be looked at, including this little one here. Ta-da! The serious room!
1, 2, 3.5, and here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. If you feel anything, just say stop, okay? Expand 10 to 12 folds, even 15 folds more when it's full of blood.
That is taking the piss. That's crazy.
That's it.
Is absolutely crazy that is the big vein. Okay, in my mind, what you were going to pull out was basically a glow stick. So I just took my stockings off to take a look at my legs. This is the one that had laser. There's just pen that I need to wash off, and a little bit of a sort of tingly sensation, which I'm going to call them about today, check that's all good, but I'm sure it is. But no varicose veins. And then this is the one that had all the veins. So apart from some bruising, obviously, this is where I've got the 2mm strips where they cut, but it was just steri strips, so no stitching. But all my varicose veins have gone. I'd say my foot is more swollen on this side, but it had more going on. They don't really hurt, they just ache where this kind of bruising is and where this bit here is a little bit swollen. Are your legs okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you got any scars? Or bruising on your knee? You've got some on your knee?
Yeah.
Let me check. Where's your knee? Is it there?
Yeah.
I think you're going to be okay, Jax. I think, is Mummy's knees okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, mummies need to look a bit sore, don't they?
The what?
This one. I've got an arrow on my leg.
Yeah.
So as you can see, this is my legs. So I have some bruising here. This is mainly where the biggest one was. So of course that was going to be quite heavy breathing, and these are my cuts, which are tiny. And then you can see on my leg here that I've got some bruising down here, and this is where the most amount of cuts is, because that was where the kind of more bubbled vein was. Then going down the front, you can still see some pen, and it was following around, and again some more bruising, but no varicose veins. And this leg, which obviously had the non-invasive surgery, no veins, just a slight bruise where it used to be, and a couple of entry wounds from the anesthetic. And again, that was probably the most bruised part is here, which is where they did quite a lot of anesthetic to follow the vein that went down here. So boom, hello, super happy legs. Oh, this line here is just from my leggings. So I can be 100% honest and say I was awake for both. I only had anesthetic injections, and the worst part of both surgeries was the anesthetic injections, just because that always stings a little bit and nobody likes a needle. But everything else was more than comfortable. I didn't need to swear or dislike anyone or tell them to stop, and the results have been amazing. So starting with my left leg, the one that was non-invasive, the laser, I'd say that probably felt the strangest, because it felt like I could feel something going whoop, 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 and it was like a warm sensation internally. But obviously after it was done, there's been no downtime on this leg. It's not sore. It swelled a tiny bit up towards my pelvic area, but that was just where they put more injections in. So that's been amazing. I fully recommend having that done, because you can just go back to your normal life straight away. My other leg, which obviously had more visible varicose veins and was more of an invasive surgery, I would say that was the one I was the most nervous for. It was actually less, I didn't feel as much as I did with the other one. The only thing I would say is that obviously post-surgery there is more downtime, 3 days, and I do have a couple of cuts, but they're 1 millimeter. The bruising is expected, and I have to say that I just thought it would take a lot longer. Both my parents had theirs done, and they were looking at 3-4 weeks in like stockings, because they had the full stripping. It was quite barbaric for them, and I know it was very uncomfortable, so I feel so lucky. And now I've looked at my legs and I have no varicose veins, and I'm so excited for when the bruising is gone to physically be able to see that my legs are clear. And I haven't experienced any restless leg, which is just, for someone that barely sits down, and when I do sit down I want to just chill, to be able to sit down and now my legs not feel like they want to run a marathon is amazing. I'm so grateful to the Whiteley Clinic for like using me as this case study. I'm so grateful for the internet for putting me in touch, and I'm just so excited that I get to tell you that you can do something. Yes, I've gone privately. Yes, it'll be more expensive. I did approach the NHS, and I love our NHS, we're so lucky, but they would only look at me if I was much older. And they were only offering the stripping, which I know for a lot of people means you have to go back several times, and I didn't want that. I wanted something that's hopefully going to work forever, which Professor Whiteley has assured me the percentage is incredibly high that I will never have them back again, so that's amazing. So I definitely recommend booking a consultation, speaking and finding out. It is a longer process. I believe mine has been like, it's 3 appointments, and obviously I've got checkups and everything, more than my parents had with theirs. But they go to the root of the issue. They checked me fully and stopped it in every area. They didn't just pull out what is the bit that I'm seeing. They've done all the non-sexy bits that I didn't know that was happening, which is why it's caused, and hopefully it means it won't come back. So I'd love you guys to check it out. I'd love you to let me know if you have varicose veins. They are very genetic. So many of us have them, but a lot of us feel like we can't do anything, and you can do something, and I hope I've been that example to you. So thank you to the Whiteley Clinic, and thank you to all of you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon for another video. Bye guys.